Hey guys, Jeremy with the Warrior Solution. Today we're going to be talking about the SIRT 107 laser training pistol. As you saw from the intro, this pistol shoots nothing but lasers, and it is an excellent training tool for experienced shooters like world-class shooters all the way down to somebody who has never held a gun before. It's especially beneficial for that latter group because it's very not intimidating. There's no crazy loud explosions, no recoil, nothing going on that really scares the person that's interacting with the gun. But they do get to feel the weight, they get to feel the trigger press of the pistol, they get to see where that laser is going in relation to the sight alignment that they had at the time. They can immediately get an idea of what proper sight alignment looks like, what proper trigger control looks like, and really dial in their fundamentals before they even fire a single live round, which is awesome. So Next Level Training has designed all the SIRT pistols to have ejectable magazines and changeable magazines. This is a huge benefit when you're dry firing because you cannot train with a fully loaded magazine from your regular carry gun and expect to dry fire safely. Those two do not mix and do not do that.
Bring your hand underneath the trigger guard and roll your palms together. So both your hands are going to sit on the left-hand side of the pistol. You're going to lock out both your arms. You're going to push with your right and pull with your left. Focus on that front sight tip. Now if you want on this 44 Magnum, you can shoot it single action. Next plate trigger pull.
Did you mean to do that?
Yeah.
The magazine that you're going to be changing if you're dry firing with your regular carry gun is going to be empty and it's going to be significantly lighter, which is going to drastically change how that magazine feels and interacts with the gun as you're reloading it. So you're developing sort of the right muscle memory, but not because the magazine isn't the right weight. So your subconscious isn't really getting the training that it really needs. The SIRT mags, on the other hand, are weighted exactly the same as regular mags, fully loaded mags. So you get exactly what you're looking for. The downside is the slide does not move. There's no slide release. So you are subtracting that from your training. So it's kind of a win-lose. So one of the cool things about SIRTs, especially this particular gun, is the interchangeable sights. The sights on this gun came with my Smith & Wesson M&P that was built by Agency Arms. I'm running Trijicon sights on it now, so I had these factory Smith & Wesson sights laying around. So I took off the plastic sights that come on the SIRT, put these actual M&P sights on, and now I have real gun sights attached to a real ergonomically correct training pistol, which I can then change the back strap on to a stippled grip like the one that I carry normally. So let's take a closer look at the SIRT next to a Smith & Wesson M&P. As you can see, the profile is very similar. The Smith & Wesson I have is not really stock at all, so it's not exactly a perfect comparison, but you get the idea. They're basically the same. The size, weight, dimensions, everything all the same. Holsters that usually work with Smith & Wesson guns, like this Blackhawk Serpa, works with the SIRT, no problem. Here's a $30 Amazon holster, no problem. Bravo concealment, no problem. One thing that has been brought to my attention is Safariland holsters because they use the lip of the slide here right above the breech as the locking point. You may have issues if you run Safariland holsters. Just be aware of that. Take a look at your holster before you purchase a SIRT and make sure you understand how the locking mechanism of your particular holster works, because the lip of the SIRT here, as you can see, this lip is pretty shallow on the SIRT, whereas the actual Smith & Wesson has a pretty deep groove right here, which is where that Safariland holster locks in. So a couple neat features that the LASR SIRT pistol has is adjustable trigger weights depending on how heavy you want the trigger to be before it actually fires. And the second is the fact that it actually has two lasers. The lower laser that you see here is the trigger take-up laser. In other words, if your finger is on the trigger at all, you can adjust the sensitivity of that laser to come on, which is great for, working with students, seeing if their fingers are on the trigger before they should be, if they're snapping the trigger versus smooth trigger pull to the rear. It really helps in that respect. And the top laser there would be the shot indicating laser, where the bullet would go if it was a real gun, of course. The SIRT 107 comes with a metal slide and an adjustment screw to adjust the sensitivity of the trigger pressure laser. This is really helpful for instructors because I can tell when students are interacting with the trigger. If they are on the trigger way before they should be, it's a safety concern, number one, but number two, if they're having issues with managing the trigger, anticipating recoil, possibly negligent discharges. Obviously that's not a super common thing, but I have seen it before, where the student's just jumping on the trigger way before their sights are actually aligned, which is obviously a major safety concern. This helps diagnose that immediately, and the instructor and anyone else standing around can see like, whoa, all right, this dude is on the trigger way too soon. Hey guy, fix yourself, check yourself before you wreck yourself or your buddies. The problem is the cost, which brings me to the elephant in the room, which is, oh yeah, this sucker costs as much as a real gun. SIRT pistols are not cheap, and that is kind of a win-lose situation. They are high quality, this particular gun, you know, metal slide, fully weighted and everything. The problem is it costs just as much as a real gun. So I'm spending the money on an inert hunk of plastic and metal that's got some components and stuff in it. But the caveat is, it is literally probably the best training tool that I have as far as pistol marksmanship goes. It's awesome for working with brand new students. It is great for working with software and doing all kinds of fun shenanigans as far as using projectors and laser activated targets and things like that. I'll go into a lot more detail of that in another video. But the cost is, it's right in the feels, pretty much. So who is this for? New shooters definitely, but I think it's primarily going to be good for instructors, firearms instructors, NRA instructors, firearms instructors like myself, professional shooters, competitive shooters, people who shoot for a living, whether it's professionally like competition-wise or professionally like police-wise. That would be the type of person that should invest in something like this, because it will absolutely increase your pistol fundamentals. It will increase your shooting ability overall. You will see dramatic effect if you are a new shooter, especially. If you're a super experienced shooter, it can still have a pretty big difference because you're able to do a lot of things that you can't do with live ammo. For example, that little sequence you saw at the intro was me running around my house shooting probably 100 rounds or 100, you know, trigger pulls, and it cost me nothing. You know, it cost me the energy to run around and do that. Whereas, you know, doing that with live ammo would obviously have a cost. I would have to drive to the range, I'd have to pay for gas, range rental, if I don't own a range, blah, 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 etc., etc., etc. So you have basically unlimited ammo for the price of one gun. So take that for what it is. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite way to train is. Do you dry fire with your regular gun? Do you have your own SIRT? Do you use something else? Snap caps, airsoft guns, BB guns? Tell me, I'm curious. I really want to know. I myself have dry fired quite a bit with real guns, and I've dry fired quite a bit with SIRTs, and there's a major difference. SIRTs are incredible tools. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below and I will get back to you. If you like the video, please like it. It does help the channel out. If you want to pick up your own SIRT training pistol, there is a link in the description. Yes, it is affiliated, which means I get a little bit of kickback, but there's no additional cost to you, so it does help the channel out. If this review was helpful, again, please let me know. I like making reviews like this. This is the first one I've ever done, first time on YouTube, so I do expect this to be a very dynamic process as I'm learning what I'm doing and growing and things like that. But I definitely do want to hear feedback from you guys, from you right now watching this video. You know, let me know what you thought. Let me know what you would like to see differently. Let me know what I can improve upon so that I can only get better from here. If you like the shirt that I wore in today's video, it is available at thewarriorsolution.com along with several other shirts that are original designs. So this is the 107 model, which is modeled after a Smith & Wesson M&P. It is not affiliated with Smith & Wesson. Adjustment screw for the sensitivity of the laser pressure indicating laser. Laser twice, 2 times. The 107 model comes with a pressure adjusting screw. All right. From your training, so it's kind of a win-lose. As far as like basic Hey, go buy a shirt. Link in the description. The mouse was on the screen the whole time. Why didn't you tell me? Yeah. Bye.